Yoda brothers, what's up? It's the director. Chargers fans, get hyped. We got an awesome video for you guys today. I'm going to be giving you guys my top 12 Chargers that will level up in 2020. Some of these guys more established, some of these other guys a little bit newer. It should be a good time, guys. Before we get into this video, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this Chargers content. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps out a lot. And guys, we're almost to 16,000 subs, man. Like, dudes, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot. Let's get into this video. So we're gonna start at number 12 and make our way up to number 1, starting with Nasir Adderley. Now, we all know Nasir Adderley was, pretty highly projected in the draft. Projected first-round pick. We picked him up in the second round, but injury prevented Nasir from showing us his full potential. So I think he'll finally get the opportunity to prove to us why he was projected so high. There is some talk that Desmond King may be stepping into that role of free safety. I genuinely hope that's not the case. We don't know what we have in Nasir Adderley, and I would like to see him to begin to be integrated into that defense, even if it's a little bit slower. Start bringing him in, a few snaps a game, but make sure, I would love to see him as an established starting free safety for the Bolts by the end of 2020. So I think there's a lot of potential with Nasir Adderley, and I'd be really excited to see what he can bring to the team this upcoming season. Next up, we've got Keenan Allen. Now, some of you guys are probably going to be saying, director, Keenan Allen's already a great player on this team. Why does he need to level up? I think it's strictly, for me at least, is because it's a contract year for Keenan Allen. I do not want the Chargers to let Keenan Allen walk this offseason. And I don't think Keenan Allen wants that either. I think Keenan wants, he wants to get paid, which he absolutely deserves to do, but he also wants to make sure he can secure that role with the Chargers and stay in LA. And I feel like it's definitely something that he can do this year. When you have a new quarterback come into a system, a guy like Keenan Allen becomes way more important. A guy that can consistently get open, almost like a tight end for quarterbacks. You can kind of rely on them to be there to help you convert on those tough situations. And I think Keenan Allen's the perfect weapon to integrate a guy like Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert into a new, starting offense for the Chargers. We're counting on you, Keenan Allen, and we absolutely believe he's up to the task. Next up at our top 10 is Trey Pipkins, our now starting left tackle, presumably. We don't know what's going to happen. They could be moving pieces around. They haven't really, announced the final roster yet or the depth chart or anything like that. So kind of presuming that Trey Pipkins will be our starting left tackle. And the reason I think that's a possibility is because he did show improvement in 2019, and he has a potential to become a decent starter with good opportunity. And I think next year is probably going to be his trial by fire. Again, that improvement we saw over the season, it may take him, a few games to get back in that group, but at the same time, if what we saw in those flashes last year are real, then we may have gotten a steal in the draft and don't even know it. And the faith that I'm seeing in Trey Pipkins kind of gives me hope that he can become, a pretty solid start. Maybe not an elite talent level at left tackle, but definitely somebody that you can rely on to not, blow it every single game. So that's going to be my number 10 pick. At number 9, we have another offensive tackle that has yet to meet his potential, and that's going to be Forrest Lamp. Now, Forrest Lamp has had an injury-plagued career, and this is his chance to finally meet his potential this upcoming season. He was a second-round selection for us with a first-round upside, and we can't forget that he has the ability to become elite. There's a reason why, all of us thought during that draft that he was probably the best value pick for our season that year. It really felt like we got a steal with Forrest Lamp, and then, lo and behold, he's had injury concerns throughout his career. And what's funny is, I don't think, maybe I'm remembering the wrong player, but let me know what you guys say. I think he didn't really have an injury in his time in college. It was really shocking to see him go down so many times in the pros, but you never know. I think this is the year that Forrest Lamp does step up, and he shows us why he was projected so high. And it would be a huge boost to this Chargers offensive line, which already is super impressive. If he starts stepping into that role as a full-time starter, can stay healthy, I think we got ourselves a steal in the draft that we finally are seeing the potential of. Next up at number 8, it's going to be Dre Tranquil. Dre Tranquil, in my mind, is probably one of the funnest players that we've gotten at, a value pick in our recent drafts. I really like Dre Tranquil, man. He came out fighting his way into the starting lineup, and he's proven to be an asset on the defense. He posted 75 combined tackles, second on the team to, I think, Thomas Davis last year during his rookie season, which is absolutely astonishing to me. And honestly, it's kind of crazy to find, a true starting middle linebacker out there in such a late round of the pick. But I do feel like he did slide because he was a little bit older. I think he was 24 his rookie season, so not as much time to develop. At the same time, he really did have the talent. He was up to the challenge going out there and, claiming that starting role. So I do think we have a good starting, linebacker for years to come in Dre Tranquil. Very happy to see him. And I do think he's going to step up this year and put up more tackles maybe even than last year, especially, helping groom in a new rookie linebacker in Kenneth Murray. I think it's going to be a really nasty duo, those guys out there in the middle of the field, guys. So very excited to see what Dre Tranquil does this year. Next up at number 7 is a familiar face in Hunter Henry. Now, Henry's another Charger. I get it. The Chargers, it feels like we've been cursed. It feels like when we finally get some momentum in a lot of different seasons that, some key players go down with injury, and Hunter Henry's been the victim of that for the past couple of years. He's yet to play a full 16-season game. Definitely a lot of games that he has played. I think 15 his rookie year, but we want to see him stay healthy. And I think this could be the first year that we see him play all 16 games, especially on a rookie, or not a rookie, but in a contract year. He's going to want to stay on the field, take care of himself, and put up some big numbers, make some big plays. I think his potential of 800 plus yards and 8+ touchdowns is very real, and he should be making a Pro Bowl. I really feel like, guys, that again, when you bring in a new quarterback, you've got your safety valves of your halfback and your tight end, and a guy like Tyrod Taylor, especially even Justin Herbert, if he ever gets to start this year, is really going to rely on a guy like Hunter Henry. Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Austin Ekeler, in my opinion, too, are very important pieces to a successful offense when bringing in a new quarterback. And I think Hunter Henry does shake off, the injury plague from the last couple of years and really shines this upcoming season. At number 6, we got one of my favorite Chargers on the team. It's going to be Mike Williams. Now, wide receivers often take time to bloom. He was selected 7th overall in his draft, and he has the potential to become a serious threat on the outside. Like, literally, you talk about these guys like Malcolm Floyd and Vincent Jackson in Chargers history. I see no reason that Mike Williams can't become that with the Bolts. We're very used to using guys like that. It's been a minute since we've had a talent like Mike Williams, and maybe this is the year that we truly unlock his potential as an outside threat. Definitely those 50-50 balls go in his favor. He uses his body to make a catch and block out defenders, and I feel like he's finally becoming comfortable with that. He needs to learn how to catch the ball without injuring himself, which is a big reason why I think maybe he hasn't been playing to his full potential. He's been playing a little bit hurt, and I think this year could be the year he absolutely explodes. You're going to be relying on him a lot with a new quarterback. Guys like Tyrod Taylor, especially Justin Herbert, love targets like Mike Williams. Give him a chance on the outside. That's something I want to see a lot this year, and I feel like Mike Williams, in my opinion, I know I'm very high on him, could absolutely break out this season. So I'm going to have him on this list at number 6. At number 5, this one kind of shocked me, dude. Looking into Bryan Bulaga, yes, I was familiar with him as a player because he's very, very, very good out there in Green Bay for almost his entire career. He had a very, very impressive tenure in Green Bay. And he played in 13 playoff games in his career out there, which is absolutely insane. And yet, he has yet to make a Pro Bowl. To me, that's kind of insane. I feel like being a fan, of the Chargers and kind of knowing about him on the Packers, I just assumed that he had so many Pro Bowls because he's such a big name, so reliable, and a huge reason to why, Aaron Rodgers has had a lot of success out there in Green Bay as well. To hear that he's never had a Pro Bowl kind of blew my mind. And I think it would be such a great story, and I think he definitely has the potential. He's one of the best, right tackles in the league to make a Pro Bowl this year. I think this is a year he does it. He does it in LA in a new environment, and he proves to everybody once and for all why he's one of the best in the league to do it. So I'm really rooting for Bryan Bulaga, man. I do think it's kind of crazy he's never been there, and I really hope he does make the first one with the Bolts. Next up at number 4, these next two will be a little bit quick because you guys know exactly why I think they're leveling up. Austin Ekeler, you guys saw my last video on him. He's absolutely a beast. He has so much potential. We finally handed him the starting role as our lead halfback. And I do think that he'll be chasing CMC's recent, or Christian McCaffrey's recent 1K title. I really do think there's the potential there. But even if not, let's say Austin Ekeler only goes for, 800 yards on the ground. There's all the chance in the world that Austin Ekeler could still go for 1,200 yards through the air. So I think, honestly, Austin Ekeler stepping up once again because he's been given the lead role could be a 2,000 yard, combined yard halfback in the NFL next year. And I think he will emerge as the best receiving threat halfback in the league next year, making his first Pro Bowl as well. I think he was snubbed last year. Absolutely should be making it this year. So Austin Ekeler's gonna be my number 4 guy. At number 3 is another guy you guys are very familiar with. It's gonna be Derwin James. We all know what we have in Derwin James. We all knew the potential of Derwin James when he was drafted. He came out hot his rookie year, but he was hampered by injuries in 2019. And this is the year I feel like he truly plants his flag as the best safety in the NFL. I really do feel like such a Swiss Army knife kind of defensive player. He's got the size, he's got the talent, he's got the instincts. The only thing that hampered him last year was his injury. So I do think that Derwin James has the potential to become a playoff or the comeback player of the year in 2020 with the Chargers, because people sometimes forget they have a short memory. But when Derwin James comes back fully healthy, watch out. This is one of the most lethal defensive players in the league, and I think he's going to have a spectacular season in 2020. At number 2, and this one's a big one, dude. This one's a big one. Gonna be Tyrod Taylor. I do not think I have seen a quarterback set up for more immediate success than Tyrod Taylor. I don't think there's ever been a story like that in my mind of he just comes into the team and he's got all the weapons, he's got the protection, he's got the scheme, he's got the defense to succeed. And I think Tyrod Taylor, above almost everybody else on this team, is going to see the most improvement from his career. We've seen what he can do, in Cleveland and in Buffalo. I think this is going to be the best season for him if he can keep Justin Herbert at bay. And we may see one of the most impressive quarterback resurgences of the decade. And I think it's very, very likely that Tyrod Taylor will succeed with the Chargers, given the pieces around him. If he can just keep up, a game management kind of style quarterback play. Don't cause turnovers. Make sure you spread the ball around. And he's the kind of quarterback that can do that. So honestly, when it comes to the most improvement overall in somebody's career, I do think Tyrod Taylor is set up to benefit the most this upcoming season. And finally, at number 1, it's a man that we all know, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Bosa. And again, guys, like you were probably telling me with Keenan Allen, like, dude, Joey Bosa is already one of the best in the league. Yes, but the same situation applies for me. It's a contract year for Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa is the kind of player that the Chargers should throw all kinds of money at to keep on the team, because he really is the cornerstone of this defense. And it's a big deal for a guy like Joey Bosa, who wants to get paid, and we should break the bank for him. I see this season for him on a kind of like a prove it year, not even a prove it year, just kind of like, an explosive year to get the most money as possible, during the offseason. I think he could be looking at his first, 14 plus sack year. And I think he goes absolutely bananas, dude. So I think Joey Bosa could be, in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. I think this is the year. I mean, he's been very good for his entire career in LA. I do think that this upcoming season could be his best yet, and that's why I do think that he does level up this season. Now, I do have some honorable mentions that I do want to mention here, just so you guys know. I'm not trying to leave anybody out, but it was kind of specific circumstances that players met this list. My honorable mentions are Desmond King, Justin Jones, Justin Jackson, Scott Quessenberry, Melvin Ingram, Isaac Rochelle, Jerry Tillery, Dan Feeney, and Uchenna Nwosu. I do think all those guys have a chance to level up this upcoming season as well, especially a lot of those guys that are depth position players. They can get snaps, and improve their game over time. Well, guys, from this list, do you guys agree with this? Do you guys disagree with it? Let me know your guys' list in the comment section below too. Who do you think sees the most improvement in 2020 and really plants their flag as a reliable, full-time start on this Chargers team, and maybe surpasses some of the goals they've had in the past, like a guy like Joey Bosa? Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. Bolt up. We'll see you next time. And as always, stay frosty.